Hi guys, so let's continue with equipping weapons, and in this one we're also going to unequip them, and then we're going to prevent spamming the montage, because at the moment if I were to keep pressing my key for equipping, I'll just play the montage from the start. So first thing we want to do is in the player we want to create function for unequipping weapon, and we can just duplicate this equip one because it's very similar, and this one will be unequip weapon. And in here I want to remove this valid check, because if we have it in the hand we don't need to spawn it again. So remove this part. I'm going to remove enum to string and also this part, and then do the same thing down here for offhand. This one we can move and move it closer. One thing we will need though is this validity check on the class, because we don't have it for main hand. So let's just copy this and paste it here. And the reason for it is that later on we can maybe have throwable weapons or something, and let's say you throw away your weapon and then you're trying to unequip it. It wouldn't actually exist, so it would give you some errors. So this will actually prevent that. Connect the class to item class, and then true goes to here. And now basically what this function needs to do is equip weapons from the hand sockets back to stow sockets. So on the socket name we're going to select, and sorry, not select name but just regular select, and then connect item type. And then for main hand you need to type in your socket names for stowed weapons. So mine's stow main hand, then it's not offhand here because this is only the main hand. 200 is stow 200, and there is also bow, which is stow bow. And then here for the offhand, so for the index 1 you need to do select again, connect the item type, and this time it will be stow offhand and stow shield, and those are the only ones. If you created some different item types and you know where it is located, so it's main hand or offhand, then you need to add them here, because this is only for weapons. So compile and save. Now we do have this function created. And let's go back to event graph. We need to do same thing here, because we are checking is the weapon equipped in the beginning, and if it's false we are equipping it. If it's true we need to unequip it. So get this part, play montage, paste it here, connect it to true. I'm going to increase the size of this comment and move it all down, or just somewhere next to this. And then here we need to change all these montages to unequip ones. So 100 unequip, 200 unequip, weapon shield is 100 unequip, dual wield unequip, and bow unequip. And after this we again need to create the notifies, montage notifies, as we created for equip weapons. So let's open the first one, and then somewhere here, don't move this default section, somewhere here. I'm not going to do it all the way on the end, maybe just here. I'm going to right click next to notify track, add notify, montage notify, select it, and this will be stow weapon. Save it. I'm going to reopen it just so it gives me the correct name, and then we can copy it. One thing we need to change here is now, since this is almost at the end, this montage notify won't actually execute. And the reason for that is because there is something called blend out trigger time here, which is -1 second. And that is when the animation starts blending into another one. And since it's set to -1 second, no montage notifies in the last second will actually execute, which, if you ask me, is really silly thing in the Unreal. I don't think it should be made that way, but this took me a while to figure out why the montage notifiers were actually not working. But all we have to do here is just set it to 0 and it will work fine. And we don't actually need this blend out trigger time because we do have inertialization set on all the montages, and that will actually blend between animations nicely anyway. So just set it to 0 and then we can go to next montage. Make sure you copied this. I'm going to go back to player, search for 200, open it. And this one is somewhere here. Paste it. Here we don't need to change the blend out time because it's in the middle of the animation, so it doesn't matter. Next one is 100, which we have already done. Dual wield. Again, it's almost at the end. Just going to leave it somewhere here. Paste it. And then again, we need to change this blend out trigger time to 0. And then last bit is the bow unequip. And puts away the bow somewhere here. Paste it. And again, this animation is quite quick, so just in case I'm going to change it to 0. Save all. That's all of them. Now in a player, in an event graph, we need to do switch again. So from the notify name, switch on name. Make sure you disconnect it here and connect it to notify begin, otherwise it won't work correctly. And then we will remove default pin, add array element, and this one will be stow weapon. And when it starts, we're going to connect our unequip weapon function. Compile and save. And then, as you can see, we're checking if the weapon is equipped or unequipped, but then we're not actually setting it anywhere. So get the gameplay tags, and here after equip weapon, we're going to add tag. And this one will be character checks weapon is equipped. Get the gameplay tag again, and here we're going to remove gameplay tag, and we remove the same one, so character checks weapon equipped. And just to make sure, just select the exact match because we're only looking for this specific variable, even though it doesn't have a subtags, so this doesn't do anything, but this is just good practice to leave it correct way, just in case at some point you might have created subtag and this would actually run if there was any subtag. So select the exact match. And now we have all this done, we can test it out. So save all. I'm going to here create more weapons. So I don't have an offhand, so what is it, rogue blade. And I'm also going to create bow. Play the game, pick up some weapons, and now we still can spam it, so it doesn't prevent us spamming it, so I can keep pressing it, but then I can actually equip it, and then I can unequip it. Except for it equips it really quickly, seems like to me. Alright, so it equips it. You can also run while it equips it or hides it. Then we can test out different weapon, for example this one, drag it out and put it in. It also, there seems to be a little bit of problem with the animations because he's looking sideways, as you can see. It doesn't look the best. Let me check the bow as well. Yeah, also make sure you put away the weapon before you change them. We will later on add changing weapons, so when you have weapon out on the player in the hand and you equip different one, he puts away the weapon that he's currently holding and then he equips the one he's supposed to equip. That will be done in the next few videos, but it is a little bit more complex system, so for now we'll leave it as it is. But I just want to fix that looking to the side because it doesn't look good, as you can see. So that will be in the animation blueprint. Go to ABP money, and here in the anim graph we need to change this, so this layered blend per bone, we need to have mesh space rotation true. So that will blend between animations, but it will keep the rotation. So now, when I equip something, you can see he's looking forward and it actually looks much better, the animation. So if I were to do the one with the shield as well, first I'm going to put it away, now the shield, and then equip it, you can see that is much better looking animation. The same for this one. So equip it and unequip it. Alright, so that seems to be working fine. But now we just need to prevent spamming, because then if you spam the key and the montage finishes, it will think the weapon is equipped, then it will play the wrong one. First it will try to unequip and so on. So to prevent spamming it, we do have gameplay tags. So what we can do is, before this animation is executed and after we passed all these checks that we can actually equip weapon, we're going to move this back. Before that, I'm actually going to pack this into macro, because we might be reusing this later. So leave the current combat type out and select this for right click, collapse to macro, and this will be play equip weapon montage or something. Play equip weapon montage. Now it will be much cleaner. And we're also going to do it here. So leave the combat type out, right click, collapse to macro, and this will be play unequip weapon montage. Right, so that's working fine. Let me see inside. Yeah, it's all connected correctly. So after the notify begins, we will go to output. And now to prevent spamming, so as I said before this montage, before we execute it, we're going to get the gameplay tags. First select the tags, and we need to add new one. So in the character actions, we're going to add new action. So add subtag, and this will be character.actions.changing weapons. Add new tag, and now here we're going to add tag, and that will be that one, character actions changing weapons, and connect it here. And we can copy this part, and we're also changing weapons here when we're unequipping them, so just before the montage. And now before, we need to check if we're actually executing any action. So move this all back, and now get gameplay tags, hashtag, and in this tag we're going to check just actions, because we can be doing any of these actions, attacking, dodging, blocking. So when we're doing that, we shouldn't be executing any other action. So I'm going to add not boolean, because then I'm going to connect it to branch, and I want to go on true. So if it doesn't contain the actions, then we can continue. And I'm going to pack this to macro again, because we will be adding to this later, like if the character is falling or if he's executing any skill or so on. So right click, collapse to macro, and this will be can execute action. So if it doesn't have action tag, then we'll output here. Make sure it's not exact match selected, because we want to check for any actions, not just changing weapons or anything. So not the specific one. And now if we can execute action, we will continue. If we can't, it will go to false. So that is all. We just need to remove the tag as well. So let's say we will get gameplay tag, go to play unequip, and on completed, when the montage is completed, we will remove gameplay tag. And this will be character actions changing weapon. Copy this, go to equip weapon montage macro, and do the same thing here. On completed, we will remove that changing weapons tags. And again, probably in the next video, we will do it with the anim notify, which will be in the animations, because in each one of these animations you do have like last few frames that you don't want to always play till the end. So let's say I equip weapon, I don't want to go from here to here and keep playing it. I want to already be able to attack or dodge at this point, so we'll do it with anim notify. But for now it's fine, so we can finish this video. And now we should be able to equip it and unequip it only when it's finished. So equip bow, I keep pressing T, nothing happens until I actually finish with the bow, and then I put it away. Alright, and then same thing with the 200, put it away, I keep pressing it, and only when it's out I can put it away. Alright, so that's working fine. And yeah, so that's equipping and unequipping weapons. And as I said, in the next few videos, one of those things will be changing this with the notify, so we can actually execute action earlier than before finishing montage, and also changing weapons, so we can equip weapon while we have different one equipped, and then it will put it away and draw it out. So I'll see you then. Bye.